right, we're back in camp. Doing a quick interview. We got all the boys in the camp up this week. Full house at the cabin. Just got in after dark, setting out. Freezing, frigid morning, but it was actually nice this afternoon. I had the sun beating down on my face, like a sauna, sitting on top of the mountain. But we got Brock with us here, and he's chowing down a plate of food, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his sit here this evening. So, Brock, go ahead. At your convenience, tell us, do you have any luck? How was your hunt today?
Well, we head up there about 2:15. We get up there, sit, get to the stand about 2:30. Me and Uncle Ronnie are talking as we're going up, I'm trying to figure out where the heck he's sitting, because he says he's somewhere close to my stand, and my stand's up on top. Well, once I get in my stand, I do see his stand and where you're set up at. So I know that now that I can't shoot that direction. So he gets in his stand, I'm in mine. I watch him get up in there. About 6:30, 6:15, 6:30, I hear some ruckus going on behind me. I don't know what it is, so I turn around, figure out what it is.
6:30 is about go time, too.
Mm-hmm.
The sun was going down. It's getting dark. I was hoping some deer were moving.
And, of course, you would get interrupted by coyotes, which is not good.
Nope, the only good coyote on this hill is a dead coyote.
Well, if I had the right shooting angle, I would have put an arrow through him. It was on my right side of the tree instead of my left.
That sounds like a fishing story.
Yeah, you found it out of my stand. You know exactly whether. Well, I don't know if you found it out of my stand with a crossbow yet. But
yeah, I've never had a coyote walk behind me out of that stand.
I had one. First one I saw was going across the ridge. He was too far. I was 45 yards. I wasn't taking that shot, especially where I don't even know where the arrow is going to land behind him. The second one that I saw, that one was 30 yards, and he was standing broadside, but I didn't range behind me because I was more concerned about what the deer going to be in front of me. So I had to range where he was at after he left, and now I know that specific rock is 30 yards on the money. So if he ends up there again tomorrow night, he'll be a dead coyote.
All right. Well, don't hesitate. Hesitation will kill you, is what they say when you're driving in the city.
Well, I had the safety off. I just needed him to go on the other side of the tree.
All right. So we saw a couple coyotes tonight. How about the rest of your season so far? You've had any luck?
Went out with Uncle Ronnie 2 weekends ago.
3 weeks or so ago we went out.
3 weeks ago we went out. Didn't see anything the following weekend. I went out with my cousin Nathan. Saw 7 of them, but they weren't in range, and we were using a muzzle loader, and I'm still waiting on the first one to hit the ground this year.
So even with the muzzle loader, they weren't in range.
Even with the muzzle loader, they were 200 yards.
That's about the equivalent of watching them on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Just glorified.
All right. Well, any other thoughts about your hunting season so far? You're up for a couple of days this week. What are your expectations?
I'm hoping I get one on the meat pole.
And you hunting tomorrow?
I'm hunting tomorrow afternoon. Probably going up to the stand about the same time as I did today, which is about 2:30. Hoping to be in a stand by a little before 3. So I'll sit from 3 to dark. But I haven't decided on which stand I want to go to yet because of seeing the coyotes up at my stand.
Wait, seeing the coyotes up there, does that deter your interest in wanting to hunt there, or does that make you want to hunt there even more so you can shoot those?
Well, if there's coyotes there, there's probably not going to be any deer there.
I know, we need to eliminate those coyotes.
So now I'm thinking of alternative ideas, because I got a blind in the bed of the truck that I might take out tomorrow evening. I'm not entirely sure yet of what I want to do yet.
All right. Well, Shane's sitting down. Shane, you're up, man. You haven't been out hunting much this year so far, right? This is your first rodeo.
It's the first go around for this year.
All right. Well, what's your expectations or hopes or dreams?
Well, hope something actually walks underneath my tree stand. Other than chipmunks, that's all I got today. Got for about 3 hours.
You hunting in the morning? What's your plan for tomorrow morning?
Well, I'll go out in the morning for a little bit. Right around daybreak. I'll get to the stand.
What's the temperature supposed to be tomorrow, guys?
Cold. Like 22 degrees.
That wasn't much different than this morning. Yeah, we all went out this morning. I don't know how long you lasted.
Over 3 hours.
Brady made it till about 9 a.m.
9:30.
9:30. Yeah, I got a text. I've replaced my my climber stand, and I'm headed down to the fire. But it was cold. It was definitely cold this morning. So.
I don't know about you, but coming in this afternoon felt a lot better than coming in this morning.
Yeah, well, going up this afternoon.
Maybe it's hotter in here.
Where your tree stands at, you don't get a lot of the direct sunlight.
Actually, I did.
In the late afternoon.
I did, yeah.
All right, well, that's good. Where you,
Right,
I guess,
like the last hour, it was just that red sunset.
my problem is that red sunset at the end of the day is right in my eyes. So my pulley hat wasn't doing much for me. I needed something with a bill to pull down over my eyes. Brady, if you want to tell me, you're the only guy that got out of bed this morning. So why don't you tell us how your day went?
Yeah, it's kind of depressing. We got a camp full here, and the lone soldier getting up and fired up. And I know Lon and you were up, at least give me some emotional support. But I braved the cold, went out there and got in my stand, put my layers on, and got settled. Not too much was going on, and then 8:30, here comes a doe and a buck with it, and they were tag team buddies. It's like they're playing tag. You know, they wouldn't let one get too far away from the other. I don't know if they were tired from running with each other. I don't know, but they were with me probably 40 minutes. They were going one direction, then the doe would change and they'd go another. And they were headed back where they came from, and then the buck turned around and it was a rodeo.
So I got two questions before you keep going on. Question one is, how does it feel when you get out of bed first thing in the morning to go hunting and no one gets out of bed with you?
I felt all right. I was fired up, but I just wanted someone else to be there with me fired up as well.
All right, so it matters that Lon and I got up and came out here while you packed yourself up.
Yep, I got my entrance as I was running out the door.
Yes, yeah, we were trying to hype you up as you left the cabin, being the lone hunter going out in the woods.
No, they started walking away. I had my grunt call on me. I grunted once softly and nothing. I grunted even louder, and he didn't even care.
So lessons learned from today's hunt?
Grunt calls don't work.
Grunt calls don't work.
I needed some rattling horns.
Well, I would. We've got a doe snorting in the background. Snort wheeze. I would disagree that calls don't work. Lon, why don't you tell us a little bit about the calls that work versus calls that don't work? Lessons learned from our years at the cabin.
The biggest thing is deer calls made in China don't work. It was on TV, so it has to be true.
We were sitting up here watching an infomercial one night. Lon was keeping me up later than past my bedtime like he likes to do. And the infomercial clearly stated that don't buy your deer calls made in China. Buy your deer calls made in the USA. They work better. So, Brady, whenever you told me that the grunt didn't work, you texted me this afternoon. What did I ask?
You asked, was it made in China? I think I texted you the brand. It was.
Well, let's not mention the brand. We don't want to offend anybody,
Right.
Unless you're Chinese. All right. So, what else? How else did your hunt go? Anything else? Any other action today?
And then after that warmed me up. I was planning on coming in and, warming up by the fire. I was thinking about it. Once you get a thought about coming in, it's game over from there. But, I got a little bit of the buck fever, the muscles moving a little bit. I got fired up and I was like, all right, I'm going to sit a little bit longer. And before I knew it was, 11, 12. And I was like, well, might as well stay out here more because you and Brock were coming up. So I was like, maybe they'll kick something up. And the sun was coming up. It got pretty
getting warmer.
So I ended up hanging out, but nothing else happened right before dark. Thought I heard a wheeze. I thought I heard some rattling, whether some bucks are scrapping. Don't know. Could be the placebo effect, as I mentioned earlier, but I heard what I heard. I am who I am. And then shortly after hearing that, it's pretty dark. There's just moonlight. I'm just scouting at this point, but the bowl that I'm covering, the squirrels, especially in Pennsylvania, half hour before dark, the squirrels and chipmunks, they go to bed. So when you hear a leaf crunch, you know what it is. So there was no squirrel, no chipmunk activity. It was, I don't know, speculate a distance 100, 200 yards away. It just sounds like there's a parade going up and down the hill. Leaves crunching like crazy. I don't know if it's a buck chasing a doe. I don't know if it's a herd of does. I don't know. But my finger and my prior knowledge points to that it's deer.
So it was sound but no sight.
Sound but no sight.
Sounds familiar. How big was the buck that was chasing the doe earlier in the morning?
Big enough, so they probably came into 60 yards, 75 yards, but we're hunting some thicker trees, so there's a lot of stuff in the way, and that's way out of my range, my comfort zone. So it had a rack on it.
Get the gun, right?
Get the gun is what I'm thinking, especially as they walked away slowly and gingerly and stood outside watching me over the crest. But I don't know. I'd probably say it's a small 8. It's not the hammer. I don't know if this buck, we named him yet or not, but we have one on the trail camera up there running pretty consistently. It might be him, it might not be him, but it would go on the wall, be hung.
All right. Well, Brock, we're going to move over to you next in line. You slept in this morning. You told us you had it figured out yesterday. Tell us about your hunt today. How did your experience go? Any lessons learned?
No, I got up at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I rolled out of here probably 10:30. Got up to my stand I went up with Uncle Ronnie. We both got into our stand probably about 11:05. We were settled in and ready for sit. About 1:15, there's one walking the ridge. I'm like, okay. And it's to his left, and I'm like, I can't see anything to his left. So I'm just like, if that one decides to come into range, I guess I'll be dragging a deer out for him. Well, about 2:30 hit, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a little nap. Well, I took a nap from 2:30 to about 4:15 whenever the sun started to go down. I was up from 4:15 on.
All right, group poll. What does everybody think about sleeping in your stand when you're hunting? Some of us do, and some of us don't.
It's all good. It's all good.
I knew that was coming from my right.
So I got a confession. It was towards the dead zone. I want to say it's around 3 o'clock. Checked my phone, and it's 3 sharp, 2:57, and then I put my phone away, hands to hand warmers, like I nod off, and I had this wicked dream. I had this wicked dream that there's something crunching right on my stand, and it was a deep sleep, and I woke up and I was like, whoa, I'm alert, and I checked my phone, and it's 3:03. 3 minutes passed by. I woke up, I was real alert. It was awesome.
Well rested.
I don't think I missed anything in that window, hopefully.
I think they say that all dreams are 7 minutes long, for the most part.
Maybe I was lucid dreaming.
Sometimes you feel like you have just a short dream. Sometimes you feel like you have a long dream. But they say all dreams are the same amount of length of time. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I don't sleep in my stand. I meditate.
Rest my eyes.
Yeah. My ears are open.
Call what you want.
What about from you? What about you guys on the couch over there? You sleep in your stand?
Never.
Never.
Can't trust that guy.
I tried sleeping in a stand and it just doesn't feel right. So anytime I doze off, doesn't feel right to me. So can't do it. All right, lessons learned from your hunt today, Brock? Other than don't sit by your uncle, even though he sees deer?
You can sit by your uncle. It doesn't matter. It will allow you to cover more ground, and if he sees one that's closer to you and you don't know about it, he can alert you so that you know to look around.
It's like a rabbit's foot.
Yep.
Lucky fedora.
You've had
What
that
were you
one-
doing earlier? You were taking for luck?
Oh, Pap Sandworm.
Pap gave Brady a hand warmer.
Pat gave me his boots.
Pap gave Brock a set of boots to keep his feet warm. Pap's out of hunting gear, but if you guys would have had any luck, you wouldn't have given it back to him. All right, Shane, you're up, man.
Well, it's just more of the same old stuff from yesterday. Squirrels and chipmunks.
Squirrels and
It
chipmunks.
was a nice warm after I got it. And I actually hit the stand about 7:30 this morning. I wasn't too far behind everybody. The other two went out.
Yeah, you got up in the morning, got moving once daylight hit.
I only made it for a couple hours in the morning. Had to come in and get something to eat. Medications are a thing. Have to do that.
So, Pap, why don't you tell the story? Because about the time Brady was up top, seeing that buck trailing the doe, we got word of it down here at camp. Only I think the word that we got was,
We have a Chinese parrot.
I think the word was, hey, there might be deer coming headed down toward camp.
That caused a little excitement.
We don't know what the word was. I seen 3 boys scramble from would-be grave to right to the edge of the woods to see if it did come, and they never showed up. So
I made my way out to Brad's stand and stood there for a couple minutes waiting for anything to start moving.
I heard that there might be deer moving through, and there was definitely a lot of movement. People were moving pretty quick out of this place.
they move that fast Sunday morning. We pack up, we'll be out of here in 20 minutes.
But yeah, that was a little excitement for the day, and then came back in and got something to eat. Ate some breakfast for everybody before the other two took off.
Had a big breakfast.
Big breakfast, big sandwiches.
It held me off till now.
I had a delicious egg and ham sandwich about 2:30 this afternoon, sitting in my tree stand. It's leftover from.
I was passed out.
Yep. I made it back out about 3:30ish. I made it back out. It's that until after dark. So, but again, squirrel, chipmunks. They're just running around all over the place over there.
Furry woodland creatures. All right, Lon, you were going out about the time I was coming in for that breakfast.
Yep.
Well, you sat all day.
Most of it.
What time did you get in tonight? You were in
I was
making
only
dinner whenever
out
I
there for
showed up.
about 3 hours today. 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, so you came in the afternoon.
Still not feeling good.
All right.
Get my hot spot up to my kid that had 7 years of college. First time I've been in it over a year. Felt like being at home.
Sounds like a smart guy.
Squirrels, chipmunks. Could see a deer, doe, or button buck, not sure. Too far away to see that. Just looking out over the valleys, all the ridges.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about.
So based on what some of us, based on the chipmunks and the squirrels we've seen, is the rut in?
For small four-legged things, yeah. For small ones.
Brady, you'd say rut's kicking in?
I'm saying the rut's in. But the chipmunk talk, I actually had a question related to that from the stand. I made a little list here of talking points.
All right.
But here at the cabin, it's pretty primitive, but, we have mice issues from time to time, right?
Yes, we
You know, there's been a 2.78 ouncer running around. And we
It
saw
was
one the other day.
2.9 this morning.
He's
Saw
growing
one.
from all the crumbs that
It was 3.1 tonight when he ran across there.
So mice break into the cabin to get a little warmer. Why don't chipmunks? we never have like chipmunks issues, or you don't even hear about chipmunks breaking in places. Why don't they do that?
They might be a little bit more elusive, but I bet they do. They're not worried about getting in your cabinets as much as probably getting into the ceiling rafters and the insulation underneath the camp. Pat?
The big thing is the hole where the mouse comes up through isn't big enough for chipmunk to get in. Is the big reason that we don't have chipmunk. When we first built this, you could hear the chipmunks and stuff up above. We did put some poison there to take care of it.
We've got to go to war on these rodents whenever we come up.
Yeah.
We don't use the cabin a whole lot over the summer, but when we come up here and start getting ready for hunting season, we need to go to war on the rodents.
But yeah, no, I just thought of it because like I was just admiring like the chipmunk's beauty. You know, it's got the black racing stripe down its back. There was one that was picking up an acorn that was attached to like a twig with 3 leaves, and it was like fighting to muster this thing up. And there's another one with it's in its cheek walking around. Like the other 100 I saw, they weren't as cool, but those 2 were.
But those 2 were. The racing stripes help. That you lose to their speed and quickness. All right, Pat. Any final words from you? We went around the ring.
Everything's right today. Same as normal. I called my stand last night about 9 o'clock and called out about 9 o'clock this morning. I couldn't call back in because the cow cool stuff.
Sorry, Pat. He's not against sleeping in his stand.
No,
I was a campfire last night when they came in. They thought it was pretty nice and warm. Tonight I'm catching a lot of slack because it's too warm, and I think the temperature's about the same. No missing someday when I ain't here to keep them warm. So.
Yeah, that warm feels good when you first walk in.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It wasn't as cold today as it was yesterday for sure. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit warmer.
Tomorrow's going to be warmer.
So I was sitting in the tree tonight and I was wondering, saw deer about 1:15 in the afternoon,
6:30.
and it was moving through maybe 65 yards away. It wasn't close enough. There wasn't any horns on it. So I thought, well, based on the rut prediction that we heard earlier in the day where we had bucks chasing does, that if that is a doe, there might be a deer trailing behind her. She came in from the back side of the hill, came down over the front, but then she turned around and went back the way she came, and I think she went out toward the opposite direction on the state land, and I didn't see anything else. So, but that got me focused early afternoon for an hour or so, and then the tree stand I sit in. They say you really, when you set a tree stand up, you want to have your back to the sun so that you're in the shadows, and I'm the opposite of that, and that's where my tree stand's positioned. It's the climber that I have positioned, but to cover the bench that I want on the mountain, I get that sunset right in the face. So probably from about 4:30 till 5:30, till on 6 o'clock, I've got that sun directly in my eyes. Can't see anything. My eyes hurt from looking directly into the sun. Mama told me not to do. And then once the sun goes down, past the horizon of the trees, it's time to pay attention. And so I sat there until about dark, and it was getting about time to climb out of the tree, and then what I saw, maybe 100 yards away on the trail that's down the mountain where I'm sitting, I saw a silhouette moving, walking away from me. But it was time to probably get out of the tree. It was starting to get that dusk time of day. So what I did was I hit my grunt call, see if it would respond, and it did. So at that point, I'm close enough to Brock that I didn't want him to just start packing up, getting out of the tree. If a buck was going to turn and come up, and you get within 10, 15 yards, it was light enough to shoot at that point. So I texted him and said, just hold tight. I see one, and that's what his reference and wanting to know where it was and all that other stuff. This deer circled around, and it did. It came straight in. I had a shot I was watching silhouette. It was too dark, but I was silhouette. I had a shot at 40 yards. I had a broadside shot at 30 yards, and a broadside shot at 20 yards. And at 20 yards, I put the scope up just to see if I could see it in the scope, and I couldn't find it in the scope. It was way too dark. So he took off running, and we got down. You know, we gave it a couple minutes. We got down, climbed out, and I got the climber out of the trees quietly as I possibly could. I did a pretty good job at that. But walking through these leaves, there's no way coming down off the mountain. They're all crunchy and super loud, and it's like walking on ice. Coming down the hill, I fell about 15 times. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. That's the wrap for the day. Tomorrow, what's your plans?
Fresh socks and fresh underwear.
Good plan.
Good plan. I started with that tonight. Brock?
I'm gonna do about the same as what I did today. Get up about 9:30, 10 o'clock, get something to eat, pack a lunch, and head up to this thing at about 11 and sit till dark.
I hope I get out a bit early tomorrow morning.
Shoot your deer in the morning. You can relax the rest of the day. You don't have to sit out in the elements.
What's with this relaxing stuff? You should shoot one, go back out, and get another one.
From the guy that sleeps in his tree stand. Relax.
You got to be in the tree stand. That's all I say.
Yeah.
Don't you have to be awake in the tree stand all the time.
All right. You feeling better in the morning? You're going to go out, or?
Feeling better I'm going to my stand. Not very good to take for 3 hours.
All right. Well, been up here. This is day 2. Tomorrow's day 3 for a 3-day hunt. I think. I don't know what day of the week it is actually, but
Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday.
all right. Well, we'll check in again then tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have better stories to tell than what we got so far tonight, other than a bunch of lazy hunters that sleep in our stands and sleep in late. Don't see any deer.
You're out enjoying nature. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's about. Being outdoors is better than sitting inside, for sure.
Better than going to work,
Very
too.
calming, and you sit in that stand. Especially this afternoon, it's nice and warm. You didn't have to put any extra clothes on.
Those green spaces do a lot for you, mentally.
It gives your mind a mental break.
Yes, it does.
Instead of going to work every day where your mind is getting stressed, you're out in nature and your mind gets a mental break. All you gotta do is just sit there and watch nature. There's no mental part of it. It's just enjoy it. Enjoyment.
That's why we do it. All right. Anybody else?
Why are peanut butter crackers orange crackers?
Why are the peanut butter crackers orange?
The only thing I can think of is marketing, and they have a brand. Do you think the orange cracker has a different flavor than a regular cracker?
Pat? Let's go to the expert on peanut butter crackers.
Orange crackers probably got flavor out.
Cheese flavor.
The orange crackers got cheese flavor, and that makes sense. And they just throw they throw peanut butter on a cheesy cracker.
But they don't market it as a cheesy peanut butter cracker. It's peanut butter cracker.
Yeah, they sell cheese crackers
They
sold
sell,
separately.
if the crackers they have cheese in, are sort of like a Ritz cracker. It's plain.
Yeah. That was another tree stand thought I wrote down. I was just like, why the heck are these things orange? Like, is the orange? Is it just dyed? Is it marketing? Does it actually have flavor in it?
You're the college boy. You should know this stuff.
I didn't research it.
Lon, do peanut butter crackers help aid or take away from a hunt?
Ugh. That's a fine line. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a little snack.
Protein powers you up.
Protein powers you up.
Keeps you
So
warm
you
when
can
you're
stay
cold.
there and alert longer, so you ain't falling asleep in the stand.
Right.
Okay, but if you take a camera guy or a hunting buddy, And all he wants to do is eat peanut butter crackers and you beg for your call or your rattling horns because he gets bored. And then they're a detriment.
So used in the right conditions, peanut
Used in
butter
the right
crackers
context, they're a good thing.
can be an aid to your hunt. You heard it here first.
The ones I used were crushed.
So was my egg and ham sandwich. Whenever I got it, the thing was packed in my backpack, smashed down so hard, but it tastes the same. All right, any other thoughts from the tree stand?
Ready for tomorrow.
All right, we'll hit her hard and get her done. That's a wrap for tonight. As the embers glow and the stars blanket the night sky, we wrap up this special episode at Deer Camp with our incredible pro staff team. The stories shared around this virtual fire echo the spirit of camaraderie and the thrill of the hunt. We hope you've enjoyed this roundtable discussion as much as we have. And we hope that it's added a touch of the great outdoors to your day. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Tracks and Tackle for more hunting insights, outdoor adventures, and the kind of tales that only Deer Camp can tell. Stay connected with us on social media. We'd love to hear your campfire stories and hunting adventures. And as we part ways, may your arrows fly true, your sights be clear, and your time in the wild be nothing short of extraordinary. Until next time, from all of us here at Mentzer Outdoors, thank you for joining this campfire conversation. Keep the spirit of hunting alive.